How was your day, honey?
Pretty intense, but I brought something for you.
Where'd you find all these things?
Here and there, you know.
Did you run into Ark?
I did, and I watch out for them, but they're the least of my problems.
All the raiders I've met say the same thing. You cannot control what happens up there. But you can decide how you deal with it.
Hey, Raider!
Ark Raiders is an upcoming third-person extraction shooter developed and published by Embark Studios. Set in a post-apocalyptic Earth overrun by mechanized threats known as Ark, players assume the role of raiders, individuals venturing from underground settlements to scavenge resources on the surface. The game offers a PvPvE experience where players face both hostile Ark machines and rival raiders. Missions are time-limited, requiring strategic planning and quick decision-making. Combat emphasizes teamwork, with squads of up to 3 players utilizing a variety of weapons and gadgets to survive. Between missions, players return to their base in Speranza to craft gear, upgrade equipment, and prepare for the next expedition. The game's dynamic weather and day-night cycles add to the immersive experience. Ark Raiders is scheduled for release in 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
What use is a vault hunter? What use is a killer? A brute. A rule-breaking, loot-taking, running and gunning natural disaster. You are, in a word, mayhem. I take that personally.
Borderlands 4 is the latest entry in Gearbox Software's iconic looter shooter series, set to release on September 12, 2025. This installment takes players to the new planet Kairos, a vast, seamless world teeming with secrets, dangers, and loot. The game introduces 4 new Vault Hunters, each with unique abilities and personalities. Players can expect enhanced movement mechanics, including double jumping, gliding, and grappling, allowing for more dynamic combat and exploration. In a bold design choice, Borderlands 4 replaces the traditional minimap with a compass system, aiming to provide a more immersive navigation experience in its expansive environments. The storyline follows the Vault Hunters as they lead a resistance against the tyrannical Timekeeper and his army of synthetic followers known as the Order. The narrative promises the series' signature humor and chaotic action. Borderlands 4 will be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S PC, and later on Nintendo Switch 2.
So then, you're not quite dead.
Great plots are afoot in the Imperium, and the currents of intrigue run deeply. You will go to Arrakis as our agent. You have one task. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper.
You were sighted fleeing the scene of a terrible crash.
Who are you? You've heard the expression, the spice must flow. I am the man who ensures that it continues to do so.
I dreamed of you. Burst in fire. Twin comets in the sky. The seer of lies. I am terrified of what happens when you awaken.
We've all lost our way. You can complete the mission.
Every person carries their past with them. Who are you?
Dune: Awakening is an ambitious open-world survival MMO developed and published by Funcom. Set on the unforgiving desert planet of Arrakis, the game places players in an alternate timeline where Paul Atreides was never born, leading to a power vacuum between House Atreides and House Harkonnen. In this vast, persistent world, players begin as sleepers, awakening with minimal resources and must navigate the harsh environment, manage resources like water, and build shelters to survive sandstorms and other hazards. The game emphasizes survival mechanics, including crafting, base building, and both PvE and PvP combat. A unique feature is the dynamic world affected by Coriolis storms, which reshape the landscape and reveal new secrets weekly. Players can pilot ornithopters, explore deep deserts, and engage in large-scale conflicts over the valuable spice melange. The game also introduces spice-induced abilities, allowing players to enhance their senses and gain powerful skills. Dune Awakening is set to release on June 10th, 2025 for PC, with versions for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S planned for a later date.
Come in.
Bravery is not common in this world, and so loyalty, honor, obedience, they set the man apart from the rest. You took care of Messina, but this matter is not yet resolved. Will you help me bring it to a close?
Of course, Dr. Rizzi.
You again.
Mafia: The Old Country is the next big thing from Hangar 13, and it's taking us all the way back to where it began, in early 1900s Sicily. The game puts you in the shoes of Enzo Favara, a young guy who's had a rough start working in brutal sulfur mines, but everything changes when he gets pulled into the Teresi crime family. It's not just about guns and cars this time, it's about legacy, blood, and what it really costs to rise in the underworld. You'll see how the Mafia first formed, how the codes and power structures started, and the choices that shaped it all. There's horseback riding, fistfights in dusty backstreets, and shootouts with old-school revolvers. The game's built on Unreal Engine 5, so everything looks stunning, gritty, real, and full of atmosphere. If you've ever wondered how the Mafia really began, this is your story. Mafia: The Old Country hits PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on August 8th, 2025.
A wandering spirit seeking vengeance.
Who are you? I thought we killed your whole family.
The snake. The Oni. The Kitsune. The spider. The dragon. Lord Saito.
What are we going to do with this one, Saito?
I'm sorry. It came to this, little wolf.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
It means one who is easily lost in the hunt.
Ghost of Yōtei is the upcoming action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch Productions and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, serving as a spiritual successor to Ghost of Tsushima. Set in 1603, over 300 years after the original game, players assume the role of Atsu, a female warrior on a quest for vengeance against the Yōtei Six, a group of masked outlaws responsible for her family's death. The game is set in the mountainous region of Izo, modern-day Hokkaido, offering a vast open world with diverse biomes, including snowy forests and grasslands. Players can explore the environment on foot or horseback, engage in dynamic combat using a variety of weapons like the Odachi, Kusarigama, and dual katanas, and undertake bounties to fund their journey. Ghost of Yōtei is scheduled for release on October 2nd, 2025, exclusively for PlayStation 5.
Death hath cast its shadow o'er this land. All hope seemeth lost, yet still thou dost fight. Why? What seekest thou in the dark? A touch of warmth? A gold coin or two? No. Deep within these folds of flesh, you and I both know. Death has judged us rightly. For we are but beasts, unworthy of salvation.
Hunger is an upcoming first-person PvP/PvE extraction shooter developed and published by Good Fun Corporation. Set in plague-ravaged Napoleonic Europe, players step into the role of living survivors navigating the desolate world after the end. The game blends brutal melee and ranged combat with deep RPG elements. Players can scavenge for resources, battle unspeakable horrors, and outlast rival survivors. Each character or living possesses unique passive, tactical, and ultimate abilities, allowing for diverse playstyles ranging from stealthy solo runs to supportive team roles. Combat is intense and methodical, featuring a mix of firearms and melee weapons like axes and maces. The game's progression system includes over 100 talents, enabling players to customize their characters extensively. Hunger is slated for an early access release in 2025 on PC.
In his research, Dr. Morrison identified a paradox. A moment where machine learning would evolve past our capabilities of control. He called the first sign of this Alpha.
Welcome to Red Rock. Man, is it always this hot? You'll get used to it. Sort of. Not really. Wow.
Yeah, not bad, huh? It's the latest model.
Interesting.
Companies like Silver Corporation, instead of being thankful, have turned their backs on the very stars and stripes that made them a success.
You still haven't given us clearance for launch.
Give me access to the back-end system of my city bot, and then we'll talk.
Today is a very special day. Well, it's not every day we get to test the existential potential of man with machine.
This city loves me, Marco. I can spin this like I always do.
I will not let them fucking stop me!
MindsEye is an upcoming single-player action-adventure thriller developed by Build a Rocket Boy and published by IO Interactive. Set in the near-future desert metropolis of Red Rock, the game follows Jacob Diaz, a former soldier equipped with a mysterious neural implant called the MindsEye. Haunted by fragmented memories, Jacob embarks on a quest to uncover the truth behind his past and the implant's origins. The game offers a cinematic experience with high-octane driving, explosive combat, and a richly detailed world. Players will navigate a society where artificial intelligence and unchecked military power shape every encounter. MindsEye also introduces characters like Marco Silva, the tech genius behind Silva Industries, and Shiva Vega, the power-hungry mayor of Red Rock. MindsEye is scheduled for release on June 10th, 2025, and will be available on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S.
Focus your attention. What do you see?
Giant. Sleeping.
Again.
Animals. Fighting.
Again.
Stay focused. Stay cautious.
Such is our calling.
thing I was around. Traveler.
Cronos, The New Dawn is an upcoming third-person survival horror game developed and published by Bloober Team, the studio behind the Medium and the Silent Hill 2 remake. Set in a dystopian future, players assume the role of a traveler working for the Enigmatic Collective, navigating a world where Eastern European brutalism meets retro-futurist technology. The narrative unfolds across two timelines: a post-apocalyptic future ravaged by a cataclysmic event known as the Change, and 1980s-era Poland under martial law. Players must traverse time rifts to extract key individuals from the past, combating grotesque creatures known as orphans that can merge into more formidable abominations if not properly disposed of. Gameplay emphasizes strategic combat with limited resources, requiring players to burn fallen enemies to prevent them from merging. The game draws inspiration from titles like Dead Space and Resident Evil, offering a challenging experience without an easy mode. Cronos. The New Dawn is slated for release in 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
We've had reports of rogue sticky notes replicating across this sector. If you don't cut back their numbers, this whole place will be yellow by morning. This crisis ain't over. Now get through the containment door to the next zone. Safe room dead ahead. Might contain something useful, but it'll probably attract a lot of... Oh, you already opened it. Never mind. You sure kicked the nest. There's hiss all over you.
Stand back! Piggy's coming out!
Oh, Paper! You gotta shoot him off me!
Last containment door's open. Go, go!
I think I heard something.
FBC Firebreak is a three-player cooperative first-person shooter developed and published by Remedy Entertainment. Set 6 years after the events of Control, the game unfolds within the enigmatic Federal Bureau of Control's headquarters, known as the Oldest House. FBC Firebreak is a three-player cooperative first-person shooter developed and published by Remedy Entertainment. Set 6 years after the events of Control, the game unfolds within the enigmatic Federal Bureau of Control's headquarters, known as the Oldest House. Customization is key. Players can tailor their loadouts with specialized tools, grenades, support items, and paranatural augments to suit their strategies. Notably, the game eschews live service elements. There are no battle passes or daily check-ins, and all post-launch playable content will be free, with optional cosmetic purchases that do not affect gameplay. FBC Firebreak is set to release on June 17, 2025, for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. It will also be available on Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus at launch.
The continent of Pywell. A land soaked in blood by the battles of those who seek peace and those who seek to shatter it. Here begins the saga of the Grey Males.
There are beings who brought chaos to Providence. The rifts they have created will return everything to nothingness. We seek to correct this.
I have my own mission, seeking out my Grey Male comrades.
What I can tell you now is that this mission will restore the disrupted providence.
For those who have died, for those who have survived, and for those who will live on, this is our mission.
Crimson Desert is an upcoming open-world action-adventure RPG developed and published by Pearl Abyss, the creators of Black Desert Online. Set in the war-torn medieval continent of Pywell, the game follows Cliff, a mercenary leader burdened by his past, as he navigates a land rife with power struggles and mythical threats. The game offers a rich high fantasy setting, featuring diverse environments, mythical beasts, and combo-based hack-and-slash combat. Players can engage in activities like horseback battles, duels, cooking, fishing, climbing, puzzle solving, and resource management. The gameplay emphasizes player choice, with decisions impacting the story and world. Developed using Pearl Abyss's proprietary Black Space engine, Crimson Desert boasts stunning visuals and dynamic weather effects. The game is set to release in late 2025 for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S.
I have 1,000 questions. Why did you come back?
I stood in the home I was born in. In that moment, I felt a connection.
Epsilon 11, sound off. Where are my men?
They're gone.
Choose your next move wisely.
What happened here?
Madness and hatred and lots of it.
Impossible. It's you. We must continue. We've begun to uncover.
Hell Is Us is an upcoming third-person action-adventure game developed by Rogue Factor and published by Nacon. Set in the war-torn country of Hadea, players assume the role of Remé, a United Nations peacekeeper who returns to his homeland to uncover the truth about his past amidst a mysterious calamity that has unleashed supernatural creatures known as Hollow Walkers. The game emphasizes exploration without traditional aids like maps or quest markers, encouraging players to rely on environmental cues and conversations to navigate the semi-open world. Combat is melee-focused, requiring players to master various weapons such as swords, polearms, and axes, each with distinct attack styles. Remy is also equipped with a drone that can distract enemies, adding a strategic layer to encounters. Hell Is Us explores themes of human emotion and the cyclical nature of violence, aiming to provide a mature and immersive narrative experience. Hell Is Us is scheduled for release on September 4th, 2025, and will be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
A powerful being falls from the sky. And when it seems they might vanquish the invaders, the dream ends. Is this really just a dream? My only hope lies with you.
Come, Kaiser. We will travel across worlds, leap through dimensions, together. I see great power within you, a destiny waiting to be fulfilled. Let me be your vengeance, the blade in your hand. Never wanted to be a hero.
But for humanity's sake, you must.
Then give me your power, Arena.
Lost Soul Aside is an upcoming single-player action role-playing game developed by Ultazero Games and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Set in a futuristic world invaded by interdimensional beings known as the Voidraks, players assume the role of Kasser, a war orphan and member of the resistance group Glimmer, on a mission to save his sister Louisa and humanity itself. The game features fast-paced, hack-and-slash combat inspired by titles like Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden. Kasser is accompanied by Arena, a shape-shifting dragon that transforms into various weapons, allowing for dynamic and stylish combos. Players will face formidable enemies and colossal bosses, utilizing a blend of melee attacks, ranged skills, and magical abilities. Visually, Lost Soul Aside showcases stunning 4K graphics powered by Unreal Engine 4, with intricately detailed environments and otherworldly architecture. The game's soundtrack, composed by Cody Matthew Johnson, complements the immersive experience. Originally slated for release on May 30th, 2025, the game has been delayed to August 29th, 2025 to allow for additional polishing. It will be available on PlayStation 5 and PC platforms.
Of redemption. You were chosen. Thrown together by forces beyond our control. Tragedy must be averted. And for that, I need your help.
Stand tall. The night is far from over. Little pillager, bent on sacking the lands of gold. I will swat away any and all who dare approach.
Band together and prepare to claim. The life of the Night Lord.
Elden Ring Nightreign is From Software's bold new spin on the Elden Ring universe. This time, it's all about co-op survival. Launching May 30th, 2025, Nightreign drops you and two friends into the ever-shifting world of Limveld, a procedurally generated take on Limgrave. Over 3 in-game days, you'll scavenge, fight, and prepare to face off against a terrifying Night Lord. You'll choose from 8 unique Nightfarer classes, like Wilder, the balanced melee fighter, Recluse, the elemental mage, or Iron Eye, the sharp-shooting archer. Each class brings its own flair, and there are no stat restrictions on weapons, so you can adapt your build on the fly. The twist? A deadly ring of fire shrinks the map each night, forcing your squad into tighter quarters and tougher battles. Survive, and you'll earn relics to upgrade your heroes for the next run. Elden Ring Nightreign arrives May 30th, 2025 on PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Xbox One and Series X and S.
Status report.
Doesn't look too good either.
What is that? You cooling all right?
My body's going one way and my mind's going another.
What is that? This ship is infected with an alien organism. It still doesn't feel real sometimes.
Never forget why you started. Lord have mercy.
Do you think Williams knows more about this substance than he's letting on? No! We can't take any chances with him.
It can manipulate its physical appearance. It's changing its cellular structure. It's replicating the human form. It's replacing us.
I know this will be difficult to hear, but if you're still out there, you deserve the truth.
Directive 8020 is an upcoming sci-fi survival horror game developed and published by Supermassive Games, known for titles like Until Dawn and The Quarry. This game marks the beginning of Season 2 in the Dark Pictures anthology. Set in the year 2250, the story follows the crew of the colony ship Cassiopeia, which crash lands on Tau Ceti F, a planet 12 light-years from Earth. As they attempt to establish a new home for humanity, they encounter a shape-shifting alien organism capable of mimicking its prey, leading to paranoia and mistrust among the crew. Players will navigate this tense environment through a third-person perspective, making critical decisions that affect the narrative's outcome. The game introduces new stealth mechanics and tools like the scanner and wedge tool to detect and evade threats. Featuring actress Lashana Lynch as pilot Brianna Young, Directive 8020 offers both single-player and multiplayer modes, allowing up to 5 players to experience the story together. The game is scheduled for release on October 2nd, 2025, and will be available on PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC. Death Stranding 2. On the Beach is the highly anticipated sequel to Hideo Kojima's genre-defying epic. Developed by Kojima Productions and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, this action-adventure game continues the story of Sam Porter Bridges, portrayed by Norman Reedus, as he embarks on a new mission to save humanity from extinction. Set in a world still reeling from the events of the first game, Sam joins forces with returning characters like Fragile and Higgs, and new faces such as Tomorrow, Rainey, and Neil. The game delves deeper into themes of connection and isolation, reflecting on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which inspired Kojima to rework the narrative. Gameplay enhancements include a more reactive world, open-ended encounter design, and expanded traversal options. Players will navigate treacherous terrains, confront otherworldly enemies, and build structures to aid in their journey. The game also features asynchronous multiplayer elements, allowing players to interact indirectly by sharing resources and structures. Death Stranding 2. On the Beach is set to release exclusively for PS5 on June 26, 2025.
You never know you are a monster until someone comes to slay you. The gift changes you, slowly consuming every little part of your humanity. I should know. It runs in my blood.
Who dares to question my will? Standing in the way of my redemption.
Wuchang Fallen Feathers is an upcoming single-player action role-playing game developed by MindsEye and published by 505 Games. Set in the war-torn and plague-ridden lands of Shu during the late Ming Dynasty, players assume the role of Bai Wuchang, a female pirate afflicted with amnesia and the mysterious feathering disease, which gradually transforms its victims into monstrous beings. The game features a Souls-like combat system, offering 25 unique weapons across 5 categories and 40 different spells. Players can customize their combat style by integrating spells into weapon combos or focusing on a spell-centric approach. A notable mechanic is the Inner Demon system. As Wuchang defeats enemies or falls in battle, her inner demon intensifies, enhancing her abilities but also increasing vulnerability. If she dies while the inner demon is active, it manifests as a hostile entity at the location of her death, wielding her weapons and abilities. The game's world comprises interconnected areas with seamless traversal, populated by numerous non-player characters offering side quests. Altars serve as checkpoints, and the narrative unfolds through multiple endings influenced by player choices and quest outcomes. Developed using Unreal Engine 5, the game promises a visually rich experience. Wuchang Fallen Feathers is scheduled for release on July 24, 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and will be available on Xbox Game Pass from day one.
It appears Moorcroft's little project is as real as they say.
Let's start the party!
Killing Floor 3 is the next chapter in Tripwire Interactive's blood-soaked co-op shooter series. Set in 2091, 70 years after the events of Killing Floor 2, The world is once again under siege by Horzine's bioengineered nightmares, Zeds. You'll join Nightfall, a rebel group fighting to stop these monstrosities before humanity is wiped out. The game sticks to its roots with wave-based combat and 6-player co-op, but it's cranked up to 11. Zeds are smarter, faster, and more terrifying than ever. Some even crawl on ceilings or use jetpacks to flank you. Thanks to Unreal Engine 5, you'll see every gruesome detail, with dynamic dismemberment and blood that sticks around. Weapons are fully customizable and environments are more interactive. Think traps, turrets, and hazards you can trigger mid-fight. And yes, Zed Time is back, letting you slow down the chaos for those cinematic headshots. Killing Floor 3 is releasing on July 24th, 2025. It's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S.
Colonel, tighten the security on this place. He's coming here, I'm sure of it. America is out to destroy the Shagohod and get its hands on your inheritance. The Philosopher's legacy. Then they're out to kill me as well.
What's the story between you and the boss?
She was like a mother, and my master.
The Cobras will take care of him.
Do you hear me, Snake? We are the sons of the boss!
I see it! The fear!
A great and terrible fury at being alive.
A host of sorrows, and you are one of them.
Why'd you come back? There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss.
I still have the Shagohod and the legacy. There is nothing America can do to stop us. I'm not finished yet!
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a faithful remake of the 2004 classic. Developed and published by Konami. Set in 1964 during the Cold War, players step into the boots of Naked Snake, embarking on a mission to rescue a Soviet scientist and thwart the development of a nuclear superweapon, all while confronting his former mentor, the Boss. The game retains the core stealth action mechanics of the original, but introduces modern enhancements. Players can now move while crouching and aim from a third-person perspective, offering more fluid and dynamic gameplay. The jungle environments are more immersive than ever, thanks to the power of Unreal Engine 5, which brings the world to life with stunning visuals and 3D audio. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is set to release on August 28, 2025, for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
To this divine calling, and you.
Do you see who's the real beast here?
Dying Light the Beast is a standalone survival horror game developed by Techland, set to release in 2025. Players return as Kyle Crane, the protagonist from the original Dying Light, who, after 13 years of captivity and experimentation, escapes to seek vengeance in the post-apocalyptic Castor Woods. The game introduces a new Beast mode, granting Crane superhuman abilities for devastating melee attacks and environmental interactions. Players will navigate through dense forests, abandoned villages, and industrial complexes, utilizing parkour skills and 4x4 vehicles for traversal. The dynamic day-night cycle returns, with zombies becoming more aggressive after sundown. Dying Light the Beast offers approximately 18 hours of gameplay and supports up to 4-player cooperative multiplayer. Originally conceived as DLC for Dying Light 2, it evolved into a full-fledged game. The game will be available on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S.
Things. But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
Marathon is an upcoming first-person extraction shooter developed and published by Bungie, the creators of Halo and Destiny. Set in the year 2893 on the planet Tau Ceti 4, players assume the role of cybernetic mercenaries known as Runners. These Runners scavenge a lost colony for valuable artifacts, battling rival teams and AI-controlled enemies in high-stakes PvPvE encounters. Each match involves teams of 3 competing to collect loot and extract successfully. Failure means losing all acquired items, emphasizing strategic planning and teamwork. The game features diverse runner archetypes, such as Locust, Blackbird, Glitch, and Void, each offering unique abilities and playstyles. Marathon's narrative unfolds through seasonal updates influenced by player actions, creating an evolving storyline. The game supports full crossplay and cross-save functionality across platforms. Marathon is scheduled for release on September 23, 2025, available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.